Alara had always known she was special. From the moment she sang her first note as a child, the world seemed to listen. Her voice was unlike any other, pure, powerful, and filled with an emotion that could bring even the hardest of hearts to tears. She became the most beloved singer in the land, adored by commoners and nobles alike. But in the shadows, someone watched with envy. Lord Varun, a powerful sorcerer, had once been a great musician himself. But when the world chose Alara's voice over his magic, he swore he would take away the one thing that made her special. On the night of her most anticipated performance, under the glow of 1,000 lanterns, Varun struck. As Alara stood on stage, preparing to sing, she felt an unnatural coldness wrap around her throat. The moment she opened her mouth, silence. Not a single note escaped her lips. Her voice was gone. The audience gasped in confusion, but Varun, hidden in the crowd, only smirked. He had sealed her voice inside a magical stone, locking it away where only a heart truly pure could set it free. Devastated, Alara withdrew from the world. She wandered from city to city, hoping to find someone who could break the curse. But no one could help. She tried to write down her pain in music, but what use was a song if she could never sing it? That was when she met Kian. Kian was a wanderer, a mystery wrapped in silence. With a gaze full of sorrow and a violin always at his side, he traveled from town to town, playing music that spoke more than words ever could. But behind his haunting melodies lay a terrible secret. He had no voice either. Long ago, Kian had made a deal with Lord Varun, trading his ability to speak in exchange for something he no longer remembered. Ever since, he had been trapped in an existence of silence, his only form of expression being his music. When Alara heard his melodies, she felt an instant connection. He played what she felt: loss, grief, longing for something stolen. And when Kian saw her eyes filled with unsung songs, he knew he had found someone who understood his pain. Without words, they communicated. And without knowing it, they had begun to fall in love. But love was not enough. To reclaim their voices, they would have to defeat the sorcerer who had stolen them. Determined to break their curses, Alara and Kian sought out the one person who might know Varen's weaknesses, the Oracle of the Moonlit River. The journey was treacherous. Along the way, they encountered whispering spirits in the forest, cursed souls who had also been victims of Varen's magic. They warned Alara and Kian that Varun did not simply take voices, he stole souls, trapping them in eternal silence. If they failed, they would share the same fate. When they finally reached the oracle, she revealed the truth. Kian's soul was the price of his bargain. Long ago, he had fallen in love with Varen's sister, Arya, a beautiful singer. But Varun had forbidden their love, believing no one was worthy of his sister. So he had tricked Kian into a cruel bargain, Kian's voice in exchange for Arya's safety. But it had been a lie. Arya had died, and Kian was left with nothing, no voice, no love, no memory of his sacrifice. Hearing this, Kian's heart shattered. But the oracle offered them one final hope: if they could create a song powerful enough to move the heavens, their combined magic could break all of Varen's curses. It would not be easy. The song had to be perfect, pure, raw, filled with the kind of love and pain that could change fate itself. For weeks, Kian and Alara worked in silence, their music blending, their souls intertwining. Though they could not speak, every note, every glance, every touch between them carried meaning. They composed a melody unlike any other, one that carried the longing of two cursed souls, the sorrow of lost love, and the desperate hope of redemption. But before they could perform it, Varun found them. The sorcerer had grown stronger over the years, feeding off the suffering of those he had cursed. Now, he stood before them, smug and untouchable. "You really think you can break my magic?" He laughed. "Your voices belong to me. Your pain is my power." With a flick of his wrist, shadows coiled around them, attempting to silence their music forever. But Kian refused to be powerless again. He lifted his violin, and Alara placed her hand over her heart, feeling the music inside her that had been trapped for so long. And together, they played. The moment their song filled the air, the world seemed to hold its breath. Kian's violin wept with sorrow, every note echoing the years of pain he had endured. Alara's voice, though still stolen, hummed through the music, her soul singing where her lips could not. And then, something impossible happened. Their voices merged. A golden glow surrounded them as Kian's lost soul, bound in silence for so long, finally answered Alara's call. Their song became magic itself, a force so powerful that the earth trembled beneath them. Varun screamed as the magic turned against him. The stolen voices of countless victims burst free, swirling around him like a storm. The curse was breaking. Kian's voice returned first. As he sang, his body, which had once been nothing more than a wandering shell, was whole again. And then Alara, the voice that had once charmed the world, finally sang again. The magical stone that had trapped her voice shattered into dust. Varun, stripped of his stolen power, fell to his knees, his magic broken. The voices he had taken were no longer his to control. In the silence that followed, Kian turned to Alara, tears in his eyes. For the first time in years, he could finally say her name. Alara. And when she spoke his name back, it was the most beautiful sound he had ever heard. With their curses lifted, they were free. But more than that, they had found something greater than their voices, each other. Their song became legend, passed down through generations. And though the world would always remember them as the ones who broke the sorcerer's curse, Kian and Alara knew the truth. Their music had saved them. Their love had made them whole. And they would never be silent again.